guys, Laura here. I'm here to do my top 5 Wednesday about top middle grade or children novels. My video is going to focus more on the middle grade side of things, but my last one will be a children's series. So I will not be including any popular Rick Riordan series or no J.K. Rowling because those are just kind of givens. If you have not read the Percy Jackson Lightning Thief series or if you have not read Harry Potter, those are great gateway series for kids. I just really, really enjoy them. I talk about them all the time on my channel. But I wanted to give some love to series that maybe you guys haven't heard of or series that I really enjoy. But the first series I will talk about is from Rick Riordan just because I don't think it gets enough love. I think it's probably his least popular series, but I actually really enjoyed it. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago too. But it's The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan, and this is his Egyptian mythology series. It followed these two characters, Sadie and Carter, and their brother and sister, and they wound up not living together for a couple of years because of issues with custody and stuff like that. But when they get together, they realize that their family is not as normal as their father so we said it was be, and they get sucked into this Egyptian mythology world. It is a trilogy, and now there is a crossover with the characters from Percy Jackson. So you might have read it, or you might have read those stories like who are these characters. This is where those characters come from. Overall, I thought it was a really, really fun series that focused a lot on relationships between brothers and sisters. That was at the heart of it. I love the magic system that was created, and I loved how we learned about the goddesses and gods through Egyptian mythology, because I feel like Egyptian mythology gets it's not as popular as Greek or Norse, so I felt like I learned so much about the Egyptian mythology from these novels. I thought that Rick Riordan does that so well. He adds lightheartedness and adventure with stuff that kids need to know. So I just thought that was really, really quick. So if you have not picked up this series, I highly recommend it, and it is a really, really fun read. And there's little to no romance, and it does focus a lot on sibling relationships. So yeah, that is one of my top children's series. The next one is the 39 Clues series by a lot of different authors. It's just the way that they do it, but yeah, it's 39 Clues. I will admit I did pick up this book series because the first book was written by Rick Riordan and he kind of set the foundation for it. But all these books are all written by totally different authors. I think that there's also a lot of subsequent series. The first series, 39 Clues, I think was 13 books, and then there has been additional series that followed different villains. But it follows this family, which is called the Cahills, and they kind of have a touch in everything big that happens in the world. And there is 4 families. There's the Jonas, the Egerton, the Lucian, and I can't remember the other one. There's 4 families, and when the grandmother dies, the grandmother of the family, she passes away, and she was very, very caring and loved her 2 grandchildren the most, and that was Amy and Dan. It has been revealed that there is a clue hunt, and there is 39 clues that will make something that will make you extremely popular or extremely well. It makes you a super person, basically. It makes a serum that makes you it gives you powers, basically. And the first 13 books is them finding out all of these ingredients to make this serum, and it's a lot of backstabbing and a lot of adventure and mystery. But the thing that this book series does so well is that it incorporates history in such a creative way. Kids will love the mystery and the adventure, but they also learn so much. There's whole books about Russian Anastasia. There's books about all this other stuff, and I just thought it was so well done. I loved all the main characters, and by the end of the book, you really grow to love all the teenagers in it. The adults are kind of a little bit caricatures almost, but overall I really like the series, and I'm still reading them. I think I'm on book series 6 now, and it's just so much fun. I really love the main characters of Amy and Dan, but I also have grown to love the other ones who become in equal importance in the later series of the books, like Hamilton and Jonah and everyone else that you meet along the way, and it's just such a fun read. I really, really enjoy them. So if you have not picked these up, it is a little bit of a time investment, but they are really, really short. So you could I think I read the 39 Clues series in about a year because I just read them back to back, and it was just a really, really fun adventure, and now I'm really enjoying the subsequent series in it. But yeah, that is my plug for the 39 Clue series, which is by a bunch of different authors, but the first author that started it all was also Rick Riordan. The next book series that I'm going to talk about is the Land of Stories series by Chris. This book series kind of on a whim because I love when authors or when celebrities read me audiobooks, and I really enjoy Chris Colfer. I enjoyed him on the first couple of seasons of Glee. I picked it up and I was enthralled. I think I listened to it in like 4 days because I just was so captivated by it. Chris Colfer has this way of just creating such a unique take on fairy tales. There are thousands of fairy tale retellings out there, but he just was able to create such a unique story that really like subverted everything and just made it so fascinating. And I love book one. I loved all the books in the series, and it just kept like upping the game. I love the two main characters, Alex and Connor, and I just was so excited to be in a world that is just so fun, so adventure harry, but just it really enhances fairy tales because you look at a fairy tale and then you look at what Chris Colfer does to it, and it's just a step above. And I just really loved it. And I think that he again really took what kids wanted, and I think he just made these book series so perfect. And I think that sometimes when you read middle grade, they're a little bit like hard to get through for adults because they're a little bit like a lot on like exposition, and it's just like not as like well crafted of a story, but he really crafts his stories so well, and I really admire that in him, and I cannot wait to read the concluding book in this series, hopefully when I'm done listening to all my City of My Mortal Instruments books. But I highly recommend that if you have not picked up this book series, that you pick it up because it's amazing. I highly recommend the audiobooks because he really is such a performer and he's able to create so many voices for these characters. And at the heart of the stories is two twins who just will captivate you from page one. So I highly recommend that you read it, and it's really one of my favorite middle grade series out there. And the next book series I'm going to talk about is actually a new series I just picked up at Comic-Con this year, and it is The Explorers, The Door. I really enjoyed this book as well. It was kind of like an unexpected read, but I picked it up and it was so much fun. It was about these two kids who wind up sucked, who are two very different ones, very like strict and by the book and very, very analytical, and one's kind of a little bit more chaotic, but they kind of develop this friendship and relationship in regards to this society where, just this society, and they have to try to solve a mystery about someone's missing grandfather, and it just was so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that the dynamics between the kids and the adventures they got up to was so much fun. Book one is out. I think book two is coming out next year, but it was just such a fun read. I really loved the main characters, and I loved how the fact that that you were always by the book and always very, very rigid was something that this book was trying to get out of kids' heads, and I like that. I thought that it was like such an interesting way to bring that point home for kids, because sometimes, especially in school and in life, you really are taught to be rigid and be very, very strict and disciplined, but this book kind of had like another point of view, and I really enjoyed it. So it was a really, really fun read, and I hope to read book two soon. And the last series I'm going to talk about is a children's series. It's been everywhere. It's so popular, but I just really love it. I read this to my kids when I'm teaching theater because I'm going to be a theater teacher, and they really love it. And it is The Day the Crayons Went Home and The Day the Crayons Quit. These two books are just adorable. They really focus a lot on character development and like, protesting and stuff like that, but I really enjoyed it, and I think that like as a teacher especially, or parents, having kids look about character or plot, these are a great book to start with. And it really does. I use them a lot when I'm teaching kids about character development, especially little kids, because you have so many different kinds of characters and you can have them create voices, and I really enjoyed it. But they're just super fun and super funny, and I think that it's just an easy way into theater acting if you want to try anything, or if you're a teacher and you want to try like a little bit more creative dramatics in your classroom. These are really good stories to do it with as well, but they're really, really fun, and my nieces and nephews will definitely be getting these for the holidays when they get a little bit older, because they're just really, really worth it. But that's my top 5 Wednesday for top middle grade or children's books. I hope you guys like it, and check back next week for another video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.